this is Natalie Callback, and I'm here with Tonia Jenny again. I'm so excited. This is after Creative Jumpstart. Hey, Jenny, how are you? How Tonia? Why?
People do that all the time. People that know me too, so don't feel bad.
No, I do leave this in because it's hilarious. Just before we started the interview, I said, I hope I won't mess up, and I did right away. So, of course, I know that's Tonia. I don't think I've ever called you Jenny, but there you go.
All good.
How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's always lovely to see you and your wonderful art in the background as well.
Oh yeah, yes, thank you. That's my Tracy Verdugo workshop that I took many years ago. Yeah.
This is 2 months after Creative Jumpstart is over, and I had such a blast. And I thought right now, because some of us are stuck at home all over the world, it would be fun to revisit some of our teachers and see how they're doing, and also give you some more input maybe. So Tonia, you tell us again where you are so that people have an idea.
Yeah, I am in Phoenix, Arizona. So, as you probably most people know, we don't really have very strong winter here. The weather stays pretty mild year round. But nonetheless, we are still showing signs of spring here. And unlike most people all over who are very anxious for spring, I want winter to last forever. So my fun time is actually kind of starting to wind down, and pretty soon it's going to be so hot here that I'm going to have been inside most of the time anyway.
So now I have a curious question. What are the temperature around now, end of March in Phoenix?
So right now, overnight, it's about 54 is about the low, and it has been in the mid 70s for the last week or so, and it's starting with, I think, later this week and next week it's going to be up to start being in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Already, that sounds like heaven to me right now.
I'm sure it does, yeah. I'm sure it does. If I was somewhere where it was, freezing cold all the time, yeah, I would be looking forward to it too, but what can I say?
You do, right? So, yeah. Tonia, we just talked about it. I'm on lockdown, and you're basically just asked to stay in. So, as we are artists, we always do most of the time things in our studios anyway. Did much change for you in your way how you do your daily routine now that you're more at home, or maybe you are not more at home? It's the same for you.
It is about the same for me. I am always at home. So as far as, my work goes, my own business, that's really been about the same. When this kind of all started, I was just finishing up working on a book for Lori Scott. And yeah, other than that, I've still just been workshop mode, creating new workshops. And so not much has really changed, but I kind of feel like and I think this is just because I feel it collectively, it feels like even though nothing's changed for me, it's still slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I'm sort of helping myself feel like I'm on vacation, like a staycation. So I'm just taking it easy more, which is kind of crazy because nothing has really changed. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I want to take advantage of this time.
Yeah.
And kind of slow down and do things a little bit more intentionally and do more things that I love that I don't maybe do as often.
Yeah, I hear you. I actually feel a little bit like in a rut creatively, but it's not that I still have a lot of stuff to do and to work because, there's a lot of other work that we have to maintain and do besides just, unfortunately, creating art. So, but in the creating art phase, I'm a little bit in a rut. But I don't feel that that's bad. I feel like I want to garden. I want to bake, which is crazy because I'm the world's worst baker.
No,
And
I think that belongs to me. That belongs to me.
And I actually have something on my list that I have from you. I bought this Mexican cookbook that I saw on your stream. Can you tell us shortly something about it?
Yeah, the book is called Truly Mexican, and it's about authentic Mexican cooking, but not in the way that you would think necessarily. Like it's not full of recipes for enchiladas and empanadas. I mean, there's a little bit of that in there, but it's mostly about the basis for Mexican cooking, which is the salsas and the marinades, the adobos. And so it sounds kind of crazy, but it's really kind of changed my whole cooking life. Like I am really into this right now and it is so fun. And it's kind of interesting because I started getting into it just before this whole, new reality started. And now I'm kind of grateful because I have the ability to make my own sauces and salsas and freeze them. I found most of them freeze really well. So it's kind of like a bonus, to have all that stuff around now.
It was very interesting because so I love Tonia's Instagram feed anyway, and then she started posting some of those photos of her doing some, things for the salters and adobos, and I was like, oh my god, this looks like so good. So if you, so I had to buy the book. So it's on my list, not on my list to work in it. I have the ingredients or most of them, and I'm ready to tackle this now.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I keep watching for you to
I know.
to share what you've made.
Not yet. It's coming. So speaking of, which is a segue question for Creative Jumpstart. So your tutorial for Creative Jumpstart, now we can, say it a little bit more, is you made these amazing cement candles because your superpower is taking something mundane, right, but making this beautiful and empowering it to be something that is cherished and looks nice. So you made these like beautiful candle holders, and you showed an amazing video. Not only that, you also had an amazing PDF, which a lot of our students were like, "That's so cool." Oh. And you interlaced some of those candles with dried rose petals. Mm-hmm. Have you put some chili in there too, now that you're into the Mexican?
It's funny you ask. I actually haven't done that since I got the book, but I did that before. I have used chili powder before. And actually, it gives a really cool result. It makes it look kind of rusty. You know how sometimes cement gets rust on it from iron that's with it? It gives it that kind of look. It's amazing. It's really cool. When it's done, you kind of rinse most of the chili powder off, but enough remains that it gives a really cool effect. So it's funny that you would ask about that. But yeah.
That sounds so cool. Did you also try turmeric? Because
I have, and it's cool too. And I've tried pigment paints, just the dry pigment. And that worked too. Of all those three things, the chili powder worked the best. I don't know why, but it stuck around the most. The pigment really just without, I guess the cement wasn't enough of a binder, so it really just mostly washed away. Not completely, but more so than the chili powder.
That's so fun. So you're probably still like, trying to experiment and see what else I kind of like envision you being somewhere and having something in your hand that has nothing to do with art, and then you're like, can I put this into?
Well, I actually recently had this idea of, I was trying to think of something, a new kind of candle to make to sort of mark this time, which maybe that sounds weird, but probably not. I'm sure people do art journaling about it and things like that. And since I don't journal, I make things. So I was wondering if there was something I could do candle-wise to mark this time. And I came up with the one thing I had never tried embedding in the cement is little bits of paper, but I didn't see any reason why that wouldn't work. So I made a list of, I kind of wanted this to be a candle of hope. So I made a list of all the things that I was really grateful for about this time, and all the things that I hoped would come out of it, new ways of living in the world that I thought might come out of it. But mostly things that I was just enjoying about my new time at home, even though, like I said, I'm used to that anyway. I kind of have made it a little different for myself. So I made a list of all these things. I typed it up on the computer, and then I printed it out. I have a laser printer, so I didn't know if inkjet would hold up so well with the moisture of the cement, but I figured with the laser print it would be okay. So I had no idea what would happen. I printed it out and I ripped it into many little tiny pieces. In fact, once it was ripped up, you couldn't even really tell what any of the original words were very well. And then, I put them in the candle in the same way that I did for the lesson. And I have the finished thing here.
Oh, that's so cool.
So there's also even some under the thing there. And it kind of, you can kind of see it's dry.
Yeah.
It's paper, but it stays in there.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I have this little, symbolic candle now, which I think is kind of awesome.
Did I see coffee in there?
I called it hope embedded in stone, because that was the purpose of it. So still playing around.
Did I see the word coffee in there?
Yes, the word coffee is in there. I've been actually, mixing it up with my coffee. I've tried putting, a little bit of butter in it and a little bit of cardamom, and just making it even more, special than it normally, is every other week. And maybe I'll continue to do that now that I know how easy it is, but, fun too.
That is such a great idea. I love that. And I think that's also like, kind of like freeing in a way that you cement that hope, right? I mean, we say that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we say that in English, but we do say that in German.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because we like things strong.
Yes. That's right.
I love what I love about it is when you showed that it's that there's actually still some kind of loose paper bits, but they're in there. That's pretty cool.
It is. And that's how the roses are too. It's the same way. Once it all dries, it's it's amazing to me that it can just live there like that. And of course, if you wanted, you could really, scrub it out, but it's also not going to hurt anything to just, leave it as it is. You can dust it off still. It's fine.
I love, I saw a lot of comments I saw some people did it, of course, but then, it's cement. And some people said, I can't wait to do it when it's summer. And so this is a reminder, guys. Now is the time to order your cement. So you can do it.
As soon as you can get outside, as soon as your hose isn't going to be frozen up anymore, and you can run the water outside, now's the perfect time to get out and give it a try. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's on my list. And we just put the hose back on because I did some gardening work, and I do hope that it's not going to freeze again. So
I hope not too, yeah.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. Did you have some time to look at some of the other things at Creative Jumpstart, or you had?
Yeah, I did actually, because, like everybody else, it's kind of, I feel like a good time to explore. And there was several of the lessons that caught my attention. I really liked the look of Joe Rotella's project with the etched glass. That really spoke to me, because I've actually done like faux etched glass with plexiglass, because if you put a stencil or mask on plexiglass and you just sand it with fine sandpaper, you get the same look. But I've not actually ever used real glass etching before. So I just loved his approach with creating the vector art ahead of time. And so that project really speaks to me. I'd like to give that a try. And I really liked KP splashed stamps because I love watercolor, as you probably know. I thought that was really fun. What else? I liked, is it Sharon? Is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
The rainbow
Yeah.
galaxy thing. I thought that was really neat. Oh, and I love, of course, like I love everything she does, Ray Missigman's thing on because it's working small. And that totally speaks to me too. I almost always work pretty small on things. So I thought that was really cool. So yeah, all of that. It's not like it's seasonal. I mean, any of it, maybe my thing is one of the only things that's really seasonal for some people. But yeah, any of that can be done, anytime. So now's the perfect time to really get in and try some of those things, I think.
Yeah, it's like now you can have your second phase of Jumpstart, like the things that you might have not tried out or,
Yeah.
wanted to look at later. I really loved Joe's tutorial as well. And well, the funny thing is that a couple years ago, I was at an event where we both were teaching, and he helped organizing in Ohio, and I actually bought some glass etching there because of him, and I
Oh,
have it ever since, and I haven't used it.
get
Isn't
it
it
out.
bad? So no, I should do it. I gotta
Yeah.
do it.
Holy, that or just send it to me and I'll use it.
All right, you need it too. It's actually a small bottle. It was also very inexpensive, and I was thinking about using it with one of my stencils, but I didn't.
Holy, yeah.
Yeah. So, and now that I love that he used the pun pastel with it. That was such a
Oh
great
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
forgot
would
about that
never
part.
have thought about it. I think that's what I love most about Creative Jumpstart is that you have tutorials that you see that you would have never done because it's just not something that you do. Like cement,
Yeah.
working with cement is not something that I usually
Right.
think of, or etching or that. But then also, if it's something that you usually do and you're familiar with, just seeing a different approach and like even if it's the same technique that you sometimes use, a different way of using it or for a different subject matter. I think that's so cool. Um,
Totally. Yeah, we totally get in a rut as it were of doing certain techniques the same way all the time because they're so familiar and we don't have to stop to think about them. And that's great too. That puts our own mark on things and makes it look like our own. But then there's definitely nothing wrong with being reminded that there's other ways to do things too, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's
Like even in the going back to the glass etching thing just for a second, don't ask me why I would never have thought of this, but I love that he showed like, and this sounds like I'm being, frugal or something, but to scrape off the excess stuff and put it back in like, I think I would have just probably thought to rinse it off. Like it wouldn't have even occurred to me but that's genius. Of course. Yeah. You can totally reuse it and make even more pieces. So yeah, it
exactly.
helps to get a different perspective.
Yeah, I also think it's like, especially I oftentimes when it's something that I'm not used to, I have this weird thing when it's like very chemical, or you have to really think about the steps and make sure that
Right.
you don't, you know, screw things up.
Yeah.
Then I get a little bit like flustered and I'm like, okay, oh no, this is not working like it is right now. So I would
Yeah.
totally probably would have like just wasted that in that time because I'm so worried about everything else. So
Mhm.
I think it's great because then you have someone who has done that before, and maybe they were flustered the first time they did
Yeah.
that as well, but they have done it several times, so now they know what to tell you, what to take
Yeah.
care
It's
of,
safe to
right?
reuse it.
You're
Yeah.
right, exactly. Yeah,
You're
that's
not going to
cool.
worry about contaminating the rest of your new bottle if you put it back in there, right? Yeah.
That's
Very
true.
cool.
Yeah, that was cool. We have to. I have to tell Joe that you said something nice about
Yeah.
he will love to hear that. He's a good guy. I love him. So, what are you, besides that, the candle holder that you just showed, what are you working on right now?
I'm actually have been enjoying a couple of fun things in my staycation. I decided I really wanted to learn Adobe Illustrator more. Like I just have never, as a graphic designer, I am not proficient in Adobe Illustrator.
This is so weird that you're doing that. I do the same thing right now.
We're on the same wavelength. So I bought a couple of courses from Udemy when they had them on sale, and oh my gosh, like it is so fun. Like I'm having so much fun, and you've seen on my Instagram post, I've been posting some of the things that I've been playing around with.
No, I have not
I'm
yet.
loving that. It's a great time to be doing that. And I've also been sewing upcycled clothes because of the inspiration I got from working on Laurie Scott's book, Wayward Threads. That's available on Amazon for anybody that would like to check it out and wants to do some sewing without having to go out and buy a bunch of new materials, because it's, you can upcycle the things that you already have.
What's the name of the book again? That sounds amazing.
Wayward Threads. And so I've made a couple of garments from, not directly from the book, but kind of inspired by some projects in the book, which is kind of how the book works anyway. It's really more about teaching you the techniques and to get you to look at garments and the pieces in them differently. There's lots of opportunities to use every part of any garment. And then kind of what I mentioned before, I've been cooking a little bit more. So just spending some more time being creative with that, trying new things. I've been trying some of the new sheet pan craze recipes, kind of having fun with that, finding new ways to use the salsas and the stuff that I've already made. I think those three things are primarily been it.
Can I move in with you? That sounds like all the fun here. I'm like, I want to have someone else I can like bounce off with Illustrator. I took a class a while ago, but I loved it. It was about jeans mending. So you did cool. Like, what's their word again? The Japanese mending.
It's like sashiko.
Yeah, sashiko. So we did a little bit of that, but also like little layered pieces of fabric, like from old fabric, and you just layer it on top of each other, little squares, and then you sew it, underneath the hole in your jeans.
Like, what do they call that? Like reverse applique.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was a super fun class. I really, really enjoyed it. And actually, mending clothes seems to be like a huge trend right now. Like you see that everywhere. People are showing how to mend socks and shirts, and it's about showing that it's worn. Like it's not you're hiding. You're not trying to mend so that you're hiding that you're patching it up. It's like a badge of honor, and you make it more colorful and you show it. And that was the part of the jeans mending class that I really loved too. Unfortunately, those jeans that I was mending for a while did not hold up very well.
You could still make a bag or something with them then.
I could have, but I was in this moving mode, and things had to go. Yeah. So, but yeah. Oh, that's cool. And then I want to cook the Mexican cookbook stuff with you. So I'm sorry. As soon as I can get out of here, I'm coming.
Well, we could just have, more regular video dates, right? We could compare notes and absolutely.
Yeah, this is actually also very cool, which I find in this time. And I think that also, I always loved cooking and we do cook every day, but it made me think about more things that I want to do out of the box right now. And part of it is there are so many cooks that are actually cooking online and showing things on their Instagram and, sharing part of their cooking routine. And Also, like little tricks.
Yeah, because we're not slowing down enough to pay attention or to notice.
Exactly.
Uh, can I share one tip with you that I learned from that book that's really cool? You know
Yeah.
how limes are really hard to get all the juice out of?
Yes.
Um, at least for me, like I've never bought a lime that's just really juicy, right? It just seems
Right.
like it takes so much force to get to juice a lime. Well, this trick is so cool. You take it and you stand the lime on end, so you know with the point say sticking up, and you cut 3 sections around the core, around the stem.
Yeah.
So you're not cutting down the center. You're just cutting just off the center, 3 slices.
Yeah.
When you do that, that the part that's usually hard to squeeze is in the center. So when you just have those sections on the side, they are way easier to bend. You can get, I mean, I've gotten probably 3 times the amount of juice out of each lime doing it that way than doing the juicer or any other. I mean, I even try, rolling them on the counter ahead of time. I try everything. This is by far the best way. So if anybody's making mojitos at home, this week, because I have some mint out in my backyard, that's, one thing I've been enjoying too. That's how you do it. So that was from that book also. It's just an awesome book.
Yeah, it is really awesome. So guys, check it out. Besides the Wayward Threads book, I always love, these suggestions as well, because I think exactly. That was so fun. Have been asking lately.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the ones that I have interviewed so far. Before we finish this, but I want to ask you, what are you thankful for today?
Today?
Yeah. Like one thing that you're thankful on this.
I'm definitely thankful that I am healthy and that I have a fully stocked, kitchen. I have no real need of anything. I continue to order things as I use them like anybody else, but I feel blessed that way. And I'm really grateful just for connections like this. I love how we've the fact that we've sort of panicked by not being able to get out of our houses. Panic's the wrong word, but we've noticed difference has made us even more wanting to reach out and connect digitally, or virtually than before, but not in I don't know, it's just like in a better way. So I'm really grateful for my circle of friends, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think these are wonderful things to be grateful for. And I think it's also a reminder that social distancing is a weird word. I think they could have picked that better. I think it's physical distancing, and we still social, right? So today I'm thankful for my sister-in-law, who's taking very well care of my in-laws, and I'm very grateful for her. So if she should hear that, I love you, Janice. So that's so wonderful. Thank you so much. Please, if you haven't signed up yet, sign up for Creative Jumpstart. Use Tonia's link. She will appreciate that. And also, if you have been part of Creative Jumpstart, hopefully you share with us something that you made from Tonia's beautiful tutorial. And just see you in the classroom, and thank you so much for being part of Creative Jumpstart.
Oh, thank you, Natalie, and thanks for chatting with me today, because it's just another fun part of my day.
Thank you. See you soon.
Hey,
Bye.
Bye.